Unafraid Show, Reister or Wrong. It's your boy, George Reister, in the building today. The man to bring the truth, the way, and the light. Excited for you guys to join me today. I appreciate your energy, your time, that you come to the Unafraid Show, where we are not afraid to talk about anything. And we talk about it in an unafraid way. And you guys are the best audience around, always. You have any questions, comments, anything, tweet them in, send them to me, or send them in to unafraidshow@gmail.com. Also, don't forget Instagram. Go on Instagram. Look up Reister or Wrong. I should have put a picture up there. Reister or Wrong, where all the little 1-minute videos, clips from the Unafraid Show, and just takes on all the best takes on all the things that happened all around. And you guys, make sure you swipe up, share the feed, like the Unafraid Show, and always tell a friend about the Unafraid Show. It's Man Monday. It is Man Monday. We got a bunch of great things up for you guys. First of all, LeBron disses guy in a MAGA hat, guy in a Make America Great Again hat, and people get all their panties and their collective panties and draws in a bunch. They're all upset about that, pissed off about that. We're going to talk about that. The real men watch the royal wedding. I had a friend who was on my head about watching it. We're going to talk about that. James Harden is demoralized. Absolutely demoralized by what happened in yesterday's game. We're going to talk about how James Harden is a actual prime example of why kids these days are not built differently, how they are built differently. They're built like sports cars. They're built like sports cars instead of rough and tumble trucks that actually, can handle when bad things go wrong. Also, in my house, we instituted a new rule. Starts today. We're going to see how this goes. It's a no cell phone rule. We're going to see how this goes. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The kids are going to riot. They're going to be upset. But first of all, I want to start with, I don't know why. So I scheduled the car wash guy to come to my house because here I just so happen to have a car wash guy that's cheaper than me going to the car wash. And also, it's inconvenient to be sitting at the car wash. I got other stuff to do. So he comes to the house. And so the dude is super busy. Finally get an appointment. And it's sprinkling outside this morning. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have badass luck when it comes to the car wash dude. I do need to get it washed more, and the car wash dude, well, the weather just don't be cooperating with me. But I wanted to go on, start off with LeBron James dissing the Make America Great Again hat guy. So here's the video of what happened. You can look at it. So the guy asked for LeBron's towel. LeBron throws it over the dude's head like, I'm not fooling with you. And this got Make America Great Again people got their panties and drawers all up in a bunch. And I loved it. I loved what LeBron did here. And people are like, oh, wow, that's not nice. Dissing a fan. I'm a common sense guy. I like to do linear thinking. Like 1 + 1 = 2. Like, I don't like to jump all over the place and make all these wild assumptions. But I'm going to tell you this. Natural assumption. Make America Great Again, people. These are the same people who turned around and said that they're allegedly boycotting the NFL. They boycotted the Grammys into bad ratings and all this. So these are these same people that said that they boycotted you out of that. Well, that they boycotted those things. But then... oh, and they boycotted them because they said that they're too political. Oh, we don't want to hear all the politics at the Grammys. We don't want to see it in football. But isn't this political, wearing a Make America Great Again hat to a basketball game? And then people were upset. The Make America Great Again people who support Laura Ingram's show on Fox said she told him to shut up and dribble. And a lot of people supported it and defended it. So if somebody said those things about you, regardless, I mean, this is not where you stand politically or all that. But if somebody dissed you, would you then turn around and somebody else was wearing their hat? Would you then give them something, a piece of equipment or some type of memorabilia? The answer is hell no. And first of all, to even go back, LeBron James is under no obligation to give this dude anything. Nothing at all. So people getting all upset about it is outrageous in and of itself. How the hell are you going to be upset about what LeBron did here? I loved it. I loved it. Because if you're not going to stand for something, if somebody's just going to dish you and you just take it and then you're like, oh, hey, I know you called my son a bastard, but you know, I got a signed jersey for you because you asked for it. No, it don't work like that. Same way. Oh, and then I know I got the people. George, you just hate Donald Trump. You just hate Donald Trump. No, I don't hate Donald Trump. I just see him for what he is and understand him for what he is. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about you. And he doesn't care about the Make America Great Again people. He really does not. This is a man who is concerned about his personal interests. Personal interests. And if his agenda, his personal agenda, whatever helps him out in life, is so some kind of way aligned with what's good for the country for that one particular thing, then it works out for him. But in most cases, it's to help his wealth. It is to, I mean, this is the same thing that he did with The Apprentice. He didn't have much going. Not even sure if he was a billionaire. Any of that. 100 millionaire, maybe. Come on, man. That's absolutely outrageous. Next thing we got up. The royal wedding. The royal wedding was a big deal. The royal wedding, I again say, real men watch the royal wedding. And what happened to me yesterday, I got to call this dude out. I got to my son's baseball game yesterday afternoon. And the guy that was on here a week or two ago with me, Mitchell Marchand, who's a comedy writer. He's got the Thought Vomit podcast, all of this. He came on the Unafraid Show. And yesterday when I got to the game, this man, the first words out of his mouth to me were, I got a bone to pick with you. I got to talk to you. You mean to tell me, so he saw on my Twitter, he said, you mean to tell me that you got up at 4 a.m. in the morning to watch the royal wedding? I was like, yeah, clearly. And he was like, so you mean to tell me you are a heterosexual male and you got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch the wedding? I'm like, yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand what your problem is. He was like, my wife had a sleepover at a hotel to watch it. I was like, well, your wife's clearly smarter than you about this. And the reason why I say that real men watch it is because I'll tell you this. I did not get up at, I don't even know what day it was on, when Prince William and Kate Middleton got married. Don't even know. But what I do know is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle getting married was a big-ass deal. It was a big deal. It was a big deal to me because of Princess Diana, Dodi Fayed, who that interracial relationship was not condoned by the royal family. They ended up dead under suspicious circumstances. The England kingship, the hierarchy, has had a history of racism. And then now you have somebody of color, a woman of color from California, I think from Inglewood, has infiltrated the royal family. I gotta see this. They had Bishop Curry on there, out there giving church. Oh man, them people from England was not ready for him. You should have seen them because you know they're kind of stuffy. They sitting there in their hats and buttoned up, were ready for the tea and crumpets, and they're sitting there like, whoa. And he's sitting there, and when the fire, and when the slaves from Africa came in, dude, it was amazing. It was amazing to see it. And then the choir sang. I loved it. I loved every single moment of the royal wedding. It was absolutely fantastic. And that's why I say that. Well, here's a comment that I got. Somebody said, well, you say it's a big deal to you because you're black, because a black woman got married. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, why does everything have to be about race, George? Why can't you just celebrate love without bringing race into it? And I'm like, well, in history, it had always, particularly in the royal family, it had always been about race or class. And this was not any of that. Meghan Markle's mom's a social worker. That's what was amazing about it. That's why I was entertained. That's why I cared, because of Princess Diana and Dodi Faye. And this was actually just the like the icing on the cake for her, because they hated on her, might have killed her, and now this? Oh man, she's got to be smiling down from heaven, excited about this. I wanted to move on after the royal wedding from happy times to sad times. Sad times for this guy, James Harden. I was watching the game last night, and James Harden was broken. He was actually broken as a man, as a human being, as an athlete. And I continuously say this about James Harden, is I'm like, every single time that, like, he's a guy who, when he faces adversity, like, he breaks. First thing, his defensive effort is always porous. And then his offensive effort goes and just tries to get cheap fouls. And then he gives up when the going gets tough. And that's why I say the new generation is built like sports cars. They're built like sports cars and not built for tough. Oh, George, what do you mean by sports cars built for tough? What do sports cars do? If you are because I acknowledge that these athletes now and people now are more skilled in technical things. They are more athletic, bigger, stronger, faster, all of these things. They're built like a Lamborghini. Speed, performance, high end, exciting, like how a bunch of bells and whistles. But what can't you do in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Bugatti, any of that? McLaren, can't go over speed bumps. Can't go over speed bumps, hit a little gravel, can't do any of these things. Because sports cars break very easily. They're high end, but they're fragile. And that's the way these kids are right now. They're not built tough. They're not built to withstand the bumps, the hard stuff, the things that you actually have to go through in life. They're super fragile. You know what I mean? Like the same way that kids deal with bullying now differently. I understand that there's social media and that intensifies things. But the actions taken by the person who was bullied are now different. Because the kids are more fragile now. The same thing with whether it's marriages or whether it's relationships, whatever it is, they are built significantly more fragile than generations prior to them. And that's just the truth. I always look at my kids as a barometer, as an example, right? And some of my kids are tougher than other kids, are tougher than some of the other ones. I'm not going to say specifically who, because sometimes my wife and family listen to the Unafraid Show. I'm not giving it away. Not giving it away, my personal biases or thoughts about these kids. Some of them are tougher than others. Some of them are able to handle adversity better than others. And some of them break when going gets tough. And I try to raise my kids in a way that is that you are emotional, that you can understand your feelings, how you feel, all the stuff that you do. But then at the same time, understand I'm upset, my feelings are hurt, I'm bothered, I'm angry, whatever it is, and move on to the next thing. And I'm like, yo, I can still function. Like, I don't go in a shell. I don't go hide in a corner. I don't go shoot up a school. I don't do any of that. I just get up and fight. Keep fighting like keep fighting like somebody who's tough. And that's why I say these kids nowadays, James Harden's a perfect example. He's high-end performance, gets more fouls than anybody in NBA history. You know, he puts up a lot of points, a lot of show, a lot of fluff. But when the going gets tough in the playoffs, the deeper they get in the finals, the deeper they get in the playoffs, James Harden gets to vanishing. Because the going gets tough. When it's nut-cutting time, James, you figure out that James Harden got a little cream in the middle. That is not steel in the middle. You know, he's a chocolate truffle. Got a little hard exterior on the outside. As soon as you crack that joker, oh, everything started melting out. It's real soft. That's the difference between the Kobe's of the world. What LeBron James has grown into. Where he used to be a truffle. Now he's built out of granite. He's not built out of, you know, stone or gold or, you know, some of the diamonds, the hardest metals. Those are the Jordans. Those are the Kobe's. But you got James Harden, who's a truffle. Who's a truffle? Steph Curry ain't no truffle. He's not a diamond either, but he's damn sure not a truffle. Not a chocolate truffle. KD, nope. Chris Paul, no. He's built out of tough stuff. Grown-ass man just fighting, clawing, all that. So when you have your kids, try to make them tough. I mean, I get it. They're going to go through hard things. Yes, they're going to cry. When they fall down, sometimes you got to just let them. Let them deal with it themselves. You got to play with your troubles on some level. The way you can turn your kid from just a high-end sports car, you know, so they can still be a high-end sports car. Raise the chassis up a little bit. Raise it up. The way they can get over the speed bumps. The way they can navigate some of the rougher terrain. Even being high-end. Come on, man. Turn that Lamborghini into a Bentley truck. Turn it into a Bentley truck. Think bigger, man. Think bigger. Last thing we got up on Unafraid Show today. You guys, George Reister here. Please make sure you like the feed, share the feed, tell a friend about the Unafraid Show. There's something we're doing in my house. My house, we are implementing a new no cell phone rule between 7:30 and 8:30. No cell phone rule. And the kids are not going to be excited about this. Because here's one. I read a study. Study said that that the average parents and kids only spend about 15 minutes a day talking. And I was like, this sounds outrageous. Like, I see my kids for hours. And I was thinking, wow, you actually, that's not actually far-fetched for most families. You see your kids in the morning before you go to school. You might talk to them a little bit, even drive them to school. Sometimes they're on the phone. Sometimes you guys are listening to the radio. So you guys talk a little bit, but not too much. Then in the afternoons, they're doing homework. You might have practice, all of this stuff. Eat dinner. Like, when you think about it, it's not really a whole lot of time that you actually spend conversating with your kids, even if you're around them. So what we're trying to do is this. We're trying to get the conversation engaged with the kiddos a little bit more. So no cell phones from 7:30 to 8:30. Don't try to call me, please. Don't try to. It's already going to be hard enough. And no phones during dinner. Just in a way to try to engage the kids more and get them to, to understand that there's a time to put it down where personal engagement still matters more than whatever this social engagement that it is that you're doing. And this is not elitist talk. This is just, this is what I'm trying in my family, and I'm offering it to you guys, see what you guys think. And I'm going to see how it works. Hopefully it increases the engagement even more, because I think it's very important and crucial to them, because one of the things that we always want, we want our kids to talk to us, tell us what's going on in school, tell us how they feel, what's going on with their friends, so we can know. So we can either prevent bad things from happening not only to them, but to other people out in the world, and also protect them. So that's where I live on that. So, and I will get back to you guys and tell you how this goes. I know they're not going to be super excited about it, but you know what? They'll be all right. These kiddos will be all right. You guys, make sure you download the podcast on iTunes or tune in, Unafraid Show. Also, tell a friend about the Unafraid Show. Share the share the page, share the link. Also, unafraidshow.com will be up on Monday. Whole bunch of great content up there for you on a daily basis. Make sure you check it out. On Monday, it will be up. Super excited. New look, new everything. We're doing big things in 2018. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Appreciate it. Catch you guys tomorrow.